Hello, good evening. My name is Omishade Abosere. I'm live on Naija Campus TV, the Facebook page of Naija Campus TV. Naija Campus TV is a forum that is fast growing. It's a fast growing platform for all students of institutions of higher learning in Nigeria. Presently, there are students from above 30 institutions on the platform. This is the third platform's online lecture series. Once again, I am Omishade Abosede, and I will be speaking on the topic rape prevention and sexual assault awareness. Sorry for coming a bit late. Sorry I came a bit late. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, first and foremost, I'll be speaking on what rape is. Okay, let's just say what sexual assault is. First and foremost, there are different kind of sexual assault. It can be physical. At the same time, it can be verbal. So can it be visual. So can it be visual. To be honest with you, I speak a lot on rape. And it is not something very nice, actually. But over time, I realized it is something rampant in our society. As of now, you hear stories of rape here and there. And you'll be surprised at the level of rape as of now. To be honest with you, I feel, it's not like I feel. I know rape is not something that is rampant as of now. It has always been. But people have not been speaking about it due to the fact that everybody has been busy minding their business or doing one thing or the other. So, the reason why you hear rape here and there now is due to the fact that coronavirus is in town. So, coronavirus is everywhere. And for one reason or the other, people are made to sit at home compulsorily. So, they have time to either penetrate their evil acts, or parents, on the other way around, have enough time to listen to their children and are paying better attention to what is happening in their environment. Let's say in their environment and in their immediate environment. To be honest with you, previously, few months back, I got to know that among every 10 girls as of now, as in among every 10 female we have, or let's say every 10 women, 8 of them have been sexually harassed at a point in time of their life. That is the more reason I feel creating better awareness will be okay. People tend to speak about rape, and so on and so forth. Everybody is talking about rape. People are really criticizing and all. But what exactly are we doing? What exactly are you doing wherever you are concerning rape? You tend to hear people say, hey, rape just started, and the girl is not wearing the proper clothes, and something is happening. I don't know. Each day they bring up new excuses, new stories about rape. But in reality, so many rape victims. Can you imagine is it the Delta State girl or the other girl who was raped in a church? The question you should be asking is, well, when you hear people say she wasn't decently dressed enough, you should ask, how decently can a lady dress? How much decent can a lady dress than a lady that is in church? At the same time, there was this girl that was raped in Oyo State, the Muslim girl who was covered from head to toe. It is not about the dressing. There's this thing I always say, There's this words I use rather. I say there are so many corporately insane people out there, and we need to be very aware of them. There are times we tend to drop people, we tend to leave our children with people. And come to think of it, yesterday I was checking the statistics of rape. From age 0 to 5, the level of rape is probably at 20%. The possibility of rape is probably at 20%. That way, or let's say of a female child being raped is a 20, while of a male child being raped is a 10. The more they grow, the older they get, the possibility of the female being raped is higher, while the possibility of the male being raped is lower. At the point I was telling some people that rape actually can happen to any gender. Either you're a male, either you're a female, you can be raped. Nobody is safe. Your age as of now is not safe. Your sex, your gender is not safe. And the statistics of male being raped below the age of 13 is really high. But from 13 upward, the boy already starts enjoying whatever he has been put through, and he no longer feels what he passed through was rape because of the pleasure involved. But the truth is, in one way or the other, the boy is being affected. In one way or the other, the boy was sexually assaulted at a point in time. So we should never be too certain that a boy cannot be raped, that only a girl can be raped, because the mentality of people we have now is that obìnrin nìkan ló ń rape. The only gender that can be assaulted or sexually assaulted rather are the females, whereas the boys are raped also. But we don't really talk much about it because we feel the boy enjoys it. As of now, I just want you to know that if you have a sister, a brother, either younger or older, you should help them understand that anybody can be raped. You should help them understand that no guy is immune. Let's just say no male child rather is immune. And sexual assault mainly is not just rape alone. Sexual assault falls, there are so many things under sexual assault, which we have rape, we have unwanted sexual touching, we have marital rape, we have false object penetration. I'll give you an example of each of everything. Okay, let's start with false object penetration. Under false object penetration, I can remember vividly I got to meet, because I visit schools a lot, I've gotten to meet somebody who told me when she was a child, she was raped by a father in church, like a priest. And you know the kind of mentality we have now is that priests do not have are not sexually active. So the parents practically abandoned her due to the fact that the girl reported to the parents. The parent didn't believe her. She went back to school, and the priest inserted candle into her vagina. Up to date, the parent did not believe it. They forgot the priest was a man before he became a priest. They tend to believe that whether you're a pastor, you're somebody you are immune to, let's just say, you're not a man any longer. They forget that blood runs through their veins. Another thing I want you to know today is anybody can rape anybody. Don't tell me he's a banker, he cannot rape. Don't say he's a lawyer, he cannot rape. Don't say he's a teacher, he's my teacher, then he cannot touch me. He's my lecturer, he cannot sexually assault me. Lecturers sexually assault. Pastors sexually assault. I actually know a lot of rape victims that were assaulted by a pastor. Another thing I want you to have in mind is that anybody can be raped. It needs to ring in your mind that nobody is immune to being raped. That is why I'm kind of repeating myself over and over and over again. You hear people say the reason why somebody was raped is because she didn't dress decently. When you check the statistics of females that are raped, there are females that are decently dressed. They don't dress anyhow. I actually go to schools a lot, and when you hear students rather, telling you about their rape experience, you wonder, why would a 13-year-old boy and an 11-year-old boy and another 14-year-old boy choose to rape a 11-year-old girl? This happened in Ekiti State. Why would they decide to rape an 11-year-old girl? Truly, it is bad. It is actually very bad. But at a point in time, I tell people, at a point in time, the boy has been raped. Those boys have been raped. So they feel it is a normal thing. So that is why, for us to be able to prevent rape in our society at large, there are several things we need to do. The informal education is really important. As an informal education is really important. There are some things that should be taught at home by our parents, like telling us about sex. Sexual education is really important. If you teach your child the right thing about sex, then he or she would not be ignorant to that. You should be asking me. I can remember vividly when I was younger. I was raped actually. And as at that point in time, I didn't even know what it means to be raped. All I knew was subconsciously I drew away from, people. I felt really uncomfortable having people around. I had nobody to tell the truth. I could not speak with anybody. Nothing was certain. Nobody really knows what was happening. And all they realized was, I realized before I was raped, I was very intelligent. And after I was raped, I was really down. Understanding things was difficult. I had difficulties in understanding things. I became very rude. When I speak to people, they're like, what's going on? Not knowing it was the psychological trauma that was affecting me. I was psychologically traumatized. When I tell people something, most rape victims out there, before somebody becomes a rape victim at any point in time, he or she has been raped. Probably once before, he or she has been raped. It's very rare before somebody just wakes up one morning and becomes a rapist. It is a gradual process. It starts step by step. Another very important factor is that we need to understand that most sexual assaulters are always people we know. Let's just say the people that assault us at any point in time are people we know. They are people well known. Probably out of 10, just two out of 10 are strangers. There's this Yoruba proverb that says, Tikule obapani todi ole pani. And I learned that with studying more on rape. Rape, the definition of rape is, another definition of rape rather, is having unlawful carnal knowledge of the person. having unlawful carnal knowledge. Rape is unlawful. Another way you can curb rape and stop rape generally is public enhancement. Something I realized was I didn't even know what it means to be raped. Most of the times, because I actually am a member of several non-governmental organizations, I volunteer for them. And when we go to schools for sensitization, I realize most of the students, even the teachers, have been raped at a point in time. And due to ignorance, they do not know what it means to be raped. That was what I was saying. Sexual education by parents is really important. And that is the more reason why we need more persons out there to come out and help sensitize people. I know somebody, her name is Adebi. What she does mainly, she goes to school to teach them on sexual education. Most parents, I don't know whether they are ignorant of it or they are too shy or they don't even know it themselves. I don't know. They do not have the time, or probably they do not have the time. They don't even have a reason, or they do not sit their children down to explain what it means to explain what's more on sexual education. And I realize most times when the children starts growing up, or probably they get the wrong knowledge from the wrong set of people. We have parents that give their children. I was really down the day I watched the video where the girl was the one recording herself. She recorded herself, and she was actually having sex with two boys, their children. I don't know why a parent would give a child a phone and not monitor that phone. There are several things a parent should not do, and possibly when they do that, they should be able to monitor whatever they have given the child at any point in time. Honestly, I feel there's something I used to say. Actually, I say I believe safe homes would bet a safe society. I mean, safe homes would raise will raise good adults and will bet a safe society. If we do not have the right family where the mother is always fighting with the father, where exactly would they have the time to take care of the children? So one of the main important things we should note and we should understand in the prevention of sex and sexual assault, the prevention of rape and sexual assault, is sexual education by our parents. It is really important. It helps the child, let's just say it guides the child to the right path in life. It helps the child understand what it means to have sex and the time he or she should, and what it means to be forcefully, what it means to be raped. Honestly, the informal education on sexual the informal sexual education is really important. Truly, in schools, the teachers teach on sexual education, but it is not the same as a parent sitting down the child and explaining the right things to the to the to the child. Another thing I say mainly is that a parent should remember not to send his or her child out at night. And when children or anybody walks, let's just say when you walk generally, because now the rape thing has increased from the children to the adults. Anybody can be raped now. Your age is irrelevant. I feel the first thing that should happen is that you should walk in pairs. Stay in a gathering of peers I feel the only time you should be alone is probably in your house. You shouldn't walk alone. You shouldn't. I'm not saying you like your privacy, you enjoy your privacy. But if you go to church, be amongst people. If you go for a social gathering, even if as of now, due to coronavirus, you can't really stay with them. You can't even, we can't have a gathering of more than 20 persons, but at least two is enough. Don't be there alone. If you're going out, go out with a friend. Like I used to tell children in the schools I visit, I tell them, whenever you're going to visit any brother, probably any sister, because a guy can rape, a lady can rape, anybody can rape. It is not gender immune. Anybody can be raped as of now. So if you want to go and visit anybody at that, don't go alone. Take a friend. If possible, take your brother. I can give you a very good instance because I have a job. I do this thing where I cook for people and I do home service. So there was this home service that I had. I got the customer on Twitter, and I was told that um he told me his house and everything. So the moment he told me his house, I tried getting in touch with somebody to come along with me, but I couldn't. I couldn't find anybody. And God so good, the area is not really far from my brother's place. It is business truly. I need to make money. But at the same time, I need to borrow myself brain. I can remember somebody saying religiosity or Christianity rather does not mean we should suspend our brain. I needed to be security conscious. I had to call my brother. I told him I needed his help. It can be a friend. All we need is somebody who is trustworthy. A friend sets people up truly, but you need somebody who is trustworthy, who you can take along. Don't walk alone. Avoid shortcuts and dress decently. It is really important. Truly, it is not actually nice when people say ladies dressing decently, that is why they are raped. Nobody nobody deserves to be raped. Nobody should be raped at all at any point in time. Everybody, as a rape psychologically destroys somebody. Nobody, like, no one deserves being raped. Nothing anybody has done in life deserves being raped. So that is another thing we should have in mind. That no, I used to wonder truly when they tell me one brother raped somebody, I'll be like, come to think of it, that brother does not have a sister. Even if he has a sister, would he have liked somebody raping his sister? How would he have felt before doing that to someone else, to a daughter of somebody? No human deserves to be sexually assaulted. I don't know. I feel one of the problems we have mainly is our cultural system. Our cultural system has made the guy rather, feel the lady is inferior. The guy feels is superior to the lady. That is why in homes you tend to hear ọkùnrin ò lè ṣiṣẹ́, kọkùnrin má fọbọ́, kọkùnrin má gbálẹ̀, obìnrin ní gbogbo eléyìí. The culture has and the funny thing is that all these things starts from home, from our home, from when everybody was a child. You tend to hear people say, this is a guy, he cannot do certain things. My question is, what's the difference? We are all human. You tend to, somebody was telling me recently that the male child cannot wash, cannot do this, cannot do that. That is where it comes from. the male feels they have more power over the female. That is why you tend to see male sexually assaulting female because they feel in one way or the other they are their property. The lady ends up in their house, they become their property, and they can be treated in whatever way he or she, as in the supposed owner rather of the person. So I feel the main thing, like the most important thing to prevent rape mainly, is the informal education given to us by our parents. And another thing that I speak about is that if the parents refuses to give the word, or the child rather, the informal education concerning sex from childhood, and the child is ignorant of whatever, who exactly will put them through? I don't know. I am always like, you tend to see so many ignorant people even in the higher institutions. I can remember there was this school we visited in Ado Ekiti. The school is called Christ School, to be precise. So we were teaching them self-defense when it comes to rape. And I can remember something I told them mainly was they should be able to use their voice. Like, train your voice so you can shout. Rape can be prevented, truly. It can be reduced, truly. As in, train your voice that when you shout, you will know somebody is shouting. When you have somebody who is about to sexually assault you, try your best to scream. Scream as much as possible. And if it is somewhere somebody cannot hear you, like I used to tell the children, it is not really advisable to kill somebody, but you can hear, you could, maybe you read the news where a girl was exonerated after killing the guy who raped her. I'm not saying you should kill anybody that tries to rape you, but at least try to defend yourself with whatever you got, because after you've been raped, I'm serious. There's something I used to tell somebody. There's this thing I do for people. I would like to try it here. This is a sheet of paper. Can you see how plain it looks? It is very clean, like very clean. So now I am about to squeeze it. As in, I want to squeeze it very hard. After squeezing it, I try to straighten it. And I'm like, do you feel if I try to straighten this paper, it will become the same as the previous page? Like, can it ever return to the original, to the way it was originally? It can't. They are totally different. Truly, we can try to straighten it. Like a word, sorry, a student told me in one of the schools I demonstrated this. The child told me, she said, "Hi, Auntie Bose, there's something we can do." I said, "What?" He said, we'll iron it. And after we tried ironing it, it didn't go back to this. It can never go back to this. So I'm not saying a rape victim cannot be healed. Truly, you can be healed, but the scars will be there. There are some scars that never goes away. It is just God that can help you out. The scars will be there. Like, I don't know. When it comes to preventing rape, you need to know how to defend yourself. Like a friend of mine jokingly says, he said, He said ladies needs those um those combs in their bag, probably combs with very sharp mouths. There are some combs that have iron. The handle always plastic, but the mouth are iron. He said, ladies need that in their bag every time. And I'm like, for what? He said, when anybody tries to sexually assault you or sexually harass you, you bring out the comb and use it on the part he wants to use to assault you. Truly, it might not be the best, but something I tell people and I tell children is your life is more important. As in, last year I learned that you should love yourself first before loving anybody. So don't do whatever it takes. I mean, whatever it takes to prevent being raped. Because when you are raped, your life will never remain the same. You can't go back to the original way you were. You can heal up, but the scar will remain. So the list I have here, or rather the things I said we need awareness. We need more people to volunteer to create awareness and sensitize people, or children, adults, wherever, tertiary institutions. Another thing we need mainly is laws rather. Like Ekiti State passed a law on sexual molestation recently. I guess I saw something on the House of Assembly also passing a law on that. We need better laws. Like somebody told me, sending them to prison is not good enough. The laws actually would be more of a deterrent to those criminals. But something I want you to know today is those people mainly, like somebody told me years back, she said, what's the point in sending them to jail and they are not rehabilitated? At the point they'll let them go, and after they let them go, they come back to the society to do the same thing. If it were up to me, I feel they should be castrated. They don't need to kill them. That's just what I feel, though. I feel the laws should make people know when you rape a person, when you commit the offense of rape, you'll be castrated. Honestly, no man, you don't want to hear that gist. No man wants to be castrated. Every man wants to use their, somebody, somebody still told me something today. The man is old, though. He said, he has not been able, he has not, something led to something, and I was speaking about beautiful ladies and all. So he said, that he has not been able to perform from years, and then he just got it back day before yesterday. And when the friend that was with me was going to ask me, she said, and so, what does he need it for now? Even at probably 70, they still need it. So can you imagine? Sorry, let's say it's not like he needs it, but he's excited about the fact that he still has it. So can you imagine what happens if it is taken away? It does not need to be taken away, actually. All that is needed is just to create the fear in them. All that is needed is just to create the fear in them. Just the fear in those people, in those criminals is good enough. So nothing is needed mainly. I feel creating the fear in them will be good enough. Castrating them is not bad, in my opinion. So if the law of castration is passed, it will be really nice. But since we know the kind of government we have, since we know Nigeria is Nigeria, like somebody told me today, said Nigeria is not a country. I said, why? The person said, Nigeria is a piece of land. That's the president and politicians. Said because people tend to people tend to scale through so many offenses, or so many offenses are just left there. If the awareness is properly created, rape victim will know they have support. My question mainly is the girl that died recently, the girls that was raped and everything that died recently. How many girls do you know exactly that has been raped and are dying within themselves? like I used to tell children, death is not something that happens in a day. There are certain deaths that do not happen in a day. There are something that happens gradually. It happens gradually. It does not just happen. Probably one disease is already eating them up inside. My question is, how many girls do you know that is dying daily in the environment? Probably because you are ignorant of it. Probably because you refuse to believe them. Probably because you're telling them the way they dressed wasn't good enough. If that is it, then, to be honest with you, outside the country, abroad, we should probably everybody there should be raped, because there they practically dressed naked. They do. I was even seeing some images where they walked naked. It is not that bad in Nigeria, and the level of rape here scares me. Nobody is safe. No child is safe. No adult is safe. Remember that or probably remember not to send your child to visit anybody. And if you do not have a child, remember not to send your sister out at night. Remember to send your siblings out in pairs. Remember, there are so many corporately insane people out there. Truly, they are dressed in suit and tie, but they are mad. I used to say it, and most times when I tell children, the reason why I came up with that is because personally I was raped by a doctor. Who would have believed it? Not now. It was actually in 2012. Teachers rape. I've heard, it's not stories safe. Children have told me to my face that their father rapes them. I've met children that their pastor rapes them. I've met children that their uncle, their aunts. Can you imagine a man, a priest raping a guy? So you see, there's homosexualism and everything. Remember to keep your siblings safe. Remember to keep yourself safe. Remember to walk in pairs. Remember to probably keep a pepper spray on you every time. Keep a very nice knife. I don't advise the knife, but remember to love yourself first. You come first, no matter the circumstances. Once again, my name is Omishadi Abosedi, and thank you for listening.